Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today we are going to discuss about RBI notifications for the month of November. November RBI notifications, which are very useful for all the examinations for the bankers. Prompt corrective action PCA framework. RBI has given revised prompt corrective action plan framework guidelines on 2nd November 2021. 2nd November 2021. This RBI has given the guidelines. And these are for PCA guidelines, framework guidelines. Capital, asset quality, and leverage ratio will be the key areas for monitoring the revised framework. Capital, asset quality, and leverage ratio. These are the three criteria for declaring the bank as prompt corrective action. One is capital adequacy ratio, asset quality net NPA, and leverage ratio. These guidelines are applicable from 1st January 2022. Separately, we had uploaded one YouTube channel, YouTube video on this PC. Master Circular on guarantees and co-acceptances issued by RBI on 9th 11 2021. Normally, no bank guarantee should be maturity not more than 10 years. Bank guarantee issuance period is 10 years. Sometimes banks can give beyond 10 years, subject to if the by assessing the impact on ALM, asset liability management of the banks, and board approved policy of the bank. With the board approved policy of the bank and ALM impact, banks can issue beyond 10 years. So normally, bank guarantee is 10 years. Beyond 10 years, at the time of issue, what is the impact on ALM? And it must be the board approved policy of the bank. This is guarantees on behalf of share and stock brokers and commodity brokers. What minimum margin requirement is 50%. Out of 50, 25% is the cash margin. Guarantees on behalf of share and stock brokers, commodity brokers, minimum margin required is 50%. Out of 50, 25% is the cash margin. There are general guidelines. The guarantee issued by the bank will be an exposure on the borrowing entity. Whatever the bank guarantee issued, that is the exposure to the borrowing company entity, and accordingly appropriate risk weight has to be assigned to that bank guarantee based on the rating of the borrower. Accordingly risk weight has to be assigned. That is that. Precautions for averting frauds. Precaution for averting frauds in bank guarantees and Ghosh committee recommendations. Bank guarantee should be issued in serially numbered. At the branch level, it should be serially numbered. Number two, beneficiaries in the bank guarantee that they should, in their own interest, verify the genuineness of the bank guarantee with the issuing bank. So, beneficiary must confirm the same from the issuing bank. It's there in their own interest. These two norms suggested by Ghosh Committee recommendations for averting frauds in bank guarantee. Foreign currency non-resident accounts, bank FCNRB accounts. FCNRB, foreign currency non-resident accounts, banks. Now, in view of the impending discontinuation of LIBOR by the end of the 2021, it has been decided to permit banks to offer interest rate on FCNRB used widely accepted overnight alternative reference rate. Instead of LIBOR, banks are allowed to use widely accepted overnight alternative reference rate ARR for the respective currencies with upward revision in the interest rate ceiling of by 50 basis points. So instead of LIBOR, banks are allowed to use overnight alternative reference rate for the respective currency with upward revision of 50 basis points. Time being, FEDI, Foreign Exchange Dealers Association of India, may publish the ARR, alternative reference rate, till such time the widely accepted benchmark is accepted. So till the widely accepted benchmark is established, up to that period, FEDI is going to publish the alternative reference rate for the FCNRB deposits. Internal Ombudsman, Integrated Reserve Bank of India, Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021. This is the new initiative by Reserve Bank of India. The circular is effective from 12th November 2002. From the date of this circular, this is effective implementation. What is the integration? Clubbing of the present three ombudsman schemes are there. That is going to be clubbed, that integrated ombudsman scheme. One nation, one ombudsman. What are there? Banking Ombudsman Scheme 2006 amended up to 1st July 2017. So Banking Ombudsman Scheme is merged with integrated ombudsman. Ombudsman Scheme for non-banking financial companies 2018 integrated. Ombudsman Scheme for digital transactions 2019. These three schemes are integrated with the integrated ombudsman scheme 2021. This is the scheme. So banking ombudsman scheme for non-banking financial companies, ombudsman scheme for digital transactions. All the three are integrated, clubbed, and that is called integrated ombudsman. One nation, one ombudsman. This scheme is applicable to whom? That is there. All commercial banks, all RRBs, all urban cooperative banks, and non-scheduled primary cooperative banks. Non-scheduled primary cooperative banks with a deposit size of rupees 50 crores and above. All commercial banks, all RRBs, all urban cooperative banks, and non-scheduled primary cooperative banks with deposit size of 50 crores and above. This is all non-banking financial companies which are accepting deposits. So this is applicable to non-banking finance companies, all NBFCs which are accepting deposits, or any non-banking company having customer interface and with the asset size of 100 crores and above, they are also. If the NBFC is not accepting deposit, but customer interface is there, 100 crores and above asset size is there, they have to implement the integrated ombudsman scheme. So banks, NBFCs, all deposit taking plus non-deposit taking 100 crores and above customer interface. Then all system participant as defined under the scheme, integrated ombudsman scheme, integrated as all the system participants in the are defined. Reserve Bank may appoint one or more of its officers as ombudsman. Who will appoint RP? One or more its officers as ombudsman for a period not exceeding 3 years. These are all exam related. Reserve Bank may appoint one or more of its officers as ombudsman, period not exceeding 3 years. Now, who is appellate authority? Against the ombudsman, who is the appellate authority? Appellate authority means executive director in charge of the department of the Reserve Bank of India. Appellate authority means executive director in charge of the department of the Reserve Bank of India. Who is administering the scheme? That the executive director is the appellate authority. Now, under this scheme integrated, Reserve Bank shall establish the centralized receipt and processing cell. So, only centralized receipt and processing of complaints at one place. There is no limit on the amount in a dispute that can be brought before the ombudsman. For referring the cases to the ombudsman, there is no limit, there is no ceiling on the dispute amount. There is no limit on the amount in a dispute that can be brought before the ombudsman. No limit. But the compensation that can be awarded by the ombudsman shall be exclusive of the amount involved in the dispute. The compensation amount awarded by the ombudsman shall be excluded for the amount involved in the dispute transaction. However, for any consequential loss suffered by the customer, complaint means customer, any consequential loss suffered by the complaint, the ombudsman shall have the power to provide a compensation up to 20 lakh rupees. The ombudsman is having power to provide a compensation rupees 20 lakhs in addition to 1 lakh rupees for complaints, time, loss of time, expense incurred, harassment, mental anguish, all the things he will get 1 lakh. So, any consequential loss suffered by the complaint, the ombudsman shall have the power to provide a compensation up to 20 lakh rupees. The compensation that can be awarded by the ombudsman shall be exclusive of the amount involved in it. This compensation amount is excluded for the amount of dispute involved. That is about the one nation, one. Now, auction of government securities. This is also 12th November 2021. Allotment of Government of India SLR securities to retail investors. Government. This is called RBI Retail Direct. Non-competitive bidding facility to retail investors. First time the RBI started RBI Retail Direct. RBI Retail Direct scheme to facilitate investment in government securities by individuals. Individuals are allowed to directly invest in Government of India securities. RBI Retail Direct. Clearing Corporation of India has been permitted to aggregate the bids received from the retailers. So this is the aggregator. Whatever the bids received, it will aggregate the data amount. That is the Clearing Corporation of India. Who is a retail investor? Retail investor is a person including individual, firms, companies, corporate bodies, institutions, provident funds, trust, and any other entity as may be prescribed by RBI. So these investors are eligible to apply under government securities under RBI Retail Direct scheme. RBI Retail Direct. Who can collect aggregator and facilitators, schedule banker, primary dealer, stock exchanges, any other entity approved by RBI. That is also aggregator, facilitators, schedule banks, primary dealer, stock exchange, any other entities. What is the quantum? Out of total auction amount, quantum is restricted to a maximum of 5% of the aggregate nominal amount. Issue size into 5% is going to be reserved for retail investors. Issue size into 5% maximum. What is the amount of bid? 10,000 and in multiples of 10,000. Individual investor, retail investor can apply 10,000 and in multiples of 10,000. It will be the responsibility of the aggregator or facilitator to pass on the securities to their country. So the responsibility is with the aggregator or facilitator to pass the securities to the respective allottees or clients. What is the commission brokerage charged to clients? Now, facility bankers are doing, scheduled banks, primary dealers, they are facilitators. They are eligible for some commission, brokerage, service charges. How much? The aggregator, facilitator can recover up to 6 paisa per 100 rupees as brokerage, commission or service charges. Commission, brokerage. 6 paisa per 100 rupees they are entitled for this. This is about non-competitive bidding facility to retail investors. It is called as shortcut RBI Retail Direct. RBI Retail Direct. Appointment of internal ombudsman by non-banking financial companies. Non-banking financial companies fulfilling the following criteria as on date would be required to appoint the internal ombudsman. What are the conditions? Deposit accepting non-banking financial companies deposit taking with 10 or more branches. Deposit taking branches, 10 or more outlets or branches. Non-deposit taking NBFCs, non-deposit taking ND, non-deposit, with the asset size of 5,000 crores and above, having public customer interface. Non-deposit taking with the asset size of 5,000 crores and above, and having public customer interface, they are also appoint internal ombudsman. Persons up to age of 70 years, it can be appointed as internal ombudsman. He is a retired person or a servicing person, not below the rank of deputy general manager or equivalent in any financial sector. So, age up to 70 is a retired or serving official, not below the rank of deputy general manager or equivalent in any financial sector regulatory body, any bank or any other NBFC also. What is the tenure of the internal ombudsman? The tenure of the internal ombudsman shall be for a fixed term of not less than 3 years, minimum 3 years, but not exceeding up to 5 years. So it can be originally appointed 3, it can be extended to another 2 years, total maximum 5 years, but he is not eligible for reappointment. Now this question also asking, they are asking, what is the tenure of the internal ombudsman? The tenure of the internal ombudsman shall be for a fixed term of not less than 3 years, but it can be extended but not exceeding 5 years, but he is not eligible for reappointment. Other circulars, RBI press releases. RBI has appointed a committee of Sudarshan Sen for comprehensive review of the legal and regulatory framework applicable to asset reconstruction company. For review of the asset reconstruction companies, RBI has appointed a committee, that is Sudarshan Sen Committee, former executive director of Reserve Bank of India. This is other press releases, important. So Sudarshan Sen Committee, review of asset reconstruction companies. Reserve Bank of India joined the central banks and supervisors worldwide, central banks and supervisors network for greening the financial system. NGBS, network for greening the financial system. Abbreviation is also important. Network for greening the financial system as a member on 23rd April 2020. So RBI is the member of network for greening the financial system. The group is central banks and supervisors. This is the press release dated 3rd November 21. Now, rate of interest on the floating rate bonds maturing in 2024. Floating rate bonds maturing in 2024. Applicable for the half year ended November 7th to 2021 to 6th May 2022, 3.8%. So every half year, RBI will announce this floating rate bonds. For the current half year, that is 7th November 21 to 6th May 2022, rate of interest payable on the floating 3.8%. Thank you very much, viewers, for supporting us. We are conducting CAB, JAB classes, revision classes for the forthcoming examinations. We are also conducting promotional exam, online promotional exam classes for the forthcoming examinations. Thank you very much for all for extending support.